Welcome to Late Reviews. I have a very special film for you today. A film I wanted to cover for a while, but health difficulties in September and being ill all of October prevented me from making a Halloween episode about this movie. But, well, maybe you're watching this for Father's Day, or in preparation for Father's Day. This might not be a movie you want to watch with your father, or if it is, all the power to you. That's great, to be honest. And you'll soon understand why I'm saying this, because this is quite a wild movie. It is a movie that I could be talking about for quite a long time, but also I don't want to spoil it. There's a lot to say, and I will try to limit myself. Although I'm eager to talk about it, I don't want to waste the experience for you. I want to give you a good idea of what to expect from this movie. A vibe check, so to say, so that you can understand if this is a movie that would appeal to you, or if this is a movie you should just skip. Because yes, this is a movie that definitely will not be for everyone, but it might be the perfect movie for you, as it kind of was for me. And you'll soon understand why I'm saying this, because this is not a movie for everyone. It is quite a wild movie, a movie I could talk about a lot, a movie I do want to talk about a lot, but also a movie I don't want to spoil. So I'll try to limit myself. I'll bring up the most important aspects, or aspects that can be telling of what movie it is, can explain what to expect from this movie. Because I want to give you a good idea if this is a movie that would be something you'd want to check out, or if this is something that really wouldn't appeal to you, because this is definitely not a movie for everyone. And that's why I want to keep it low on the spoilers, because if you do choose to watch this movie, I don't want to spoil all the good things. That would be sad. I want to give you an almost unspoiled idea of why this movie is so great, and also maybe why you would hate it. Because yes, a lot of people probably would hate this movie.
Trust me.
The movie, of course, is Father's Day from 2011. This is a movie that I originally watched around the time it came out, which is quite wild. This is 2011, and I remember watching it in high school. I have no idea where I found it, how I got my hands on it, but I did find this movie, and I watched it, and I was completely blown away. And already here I'm running into trouble, because I can't say much about the movie without risking spoiling it. So I'll give you a very basic introduction to the plot, give you an overarching idea of what will happen in the movie without really spoiling any of the great things that are there, so you have something to explore for yourself. We have 4 protagonists. We follow this man who's obsessed with killing a serial killer. A serial killer who kills fathers. And he kills fathers in very, very, very grisly ways. And there is more to it, but that's where I will leave his character. We also have his sister. His sister, who was abandoned by her older brother when he set out to kill this murderer of fathers, and who has neglected her ever since, and who is now trying to prove herself to the brother, which is an ongoing struggle. And then we have the sister's friend, who is a rent boy, who also gets on board with this mission of tracking down the murderer, and I'm not gonna tell you why. And finally we have a priest who is trying to stop these killings from happening, and who is the first character we introduced to, the one who tracks down the man who's obsessed with killing the killer. And those are our 4 main characters, who are out to get the serial killer before he kills again, or just at the very least to end his killing for good. And saying more about the plot would actually risk spoiling it. So I'll instead focus on something else, and well, the characters is a good place to start. What these characters lack in experience and talent, they make up for with passion. And yeah, passion is a word you'll hear me say a lot today, because it is a passion project. So it is a word that really illustrates what you get in this film. Most of the people had not acted before, or might just have acted in a few shorts. The actor playing the character is really obsessed with killing the serial killer is played by the director himself, Adam Brooks. And already then it can sound like this is gonna be a vanity project. But no, aside from maybe one scene that has aspects of being a vanity project, some of the same qualities, the character is really too unsympathetic, too uncool, too stupid, too problematic to really be a vanity project character. It's more just an overblown home movie. That's how we can think of it. And yeah, back when I made high school movies, I wanted to direct it and write it and also be in it. So I understand that kind of aspect. It's just natural. I mean, you have a small crew. You are one of those who's the most passionate about it. So of course you're gonna play a character as well. Why not? Why not? And he's doing a great job in it. Because they're probably friends in real life, these people, a lot of the charisma on screen really works. Some of the conversations they have are not natural. That's like, the writing is not good. And there's nothing natural about the movie. But it still works very well. A lot of the jokes, of course, fall flat. But that's just quite common, not just for these low-budget, passion projects, but for movies in general, especially when you're just among friends, maybe something is funny to you, but it might not be as funny to the audience. Or also this, I don't know if that will have an influence, but it's Canadian and probably maybe localized, so maybe there's some things that are funnier to people in the area where it's from and not to a broader audience. That is possible, but I did laugh much more than I thought I would.
In Native American mythology, the wolf was known as the night listener. A completely blind species, but with ears that could hear a pin drop anywhere in the forest.
I don't think any of that's true.
Get out.
Thank you. It was in my dad's mouth when he burned to death.
I love you, goddammit! Oh. Shoot, I'm not even supposed to say that. I am gonna be doing Hail Marys until the friggin' cows come home. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it.
It works. The screen presence works. There's a lot of funny ideas, a lot of funny moments with these characters, so the characters work really well together. They're all quite lovely, and I managed to get immersed in the characters. I was genuinely sad when one of them died, or when I thought one of them died. There is a lot to... It's surprising how well this movie works. This movie should not be as good as it is. It has a $10,000 budget. I don't know if it's Canadian dollars or US dollars. It has a $10,000 budget. It's insane what they did with this budget. This movie gives you... So, okay, I'm going to talk about effects. With this $10,000 budget, they have stop motion. They have very, very creative scenes. They have very creative costumes. They have amazing effects, amazing practical effects. Very, very good gore. They have a lot of really, really nasty things. They really stretch this budget a lot. And also some of the places, of course, they probably use stock music and stock sound, but the sound design is also quite good. It's very synth heavy. A movie that I couldn't help compare this to, also it came around the same time, is Hobo with a Shotgun. Not that the movies are very comparable, but the lighting, the cinematography, and to some extent the sound design, it's somewhat similar. It has some of the same vibes. Hobo with a Shotgun is definitely not as great as this movie, although Hobo with a Shotgun has a much larger budget. It's quite surprising actually that this movie is better, but both are quite good. So if you like your very silly, gory, action-packed exploitation flick with over-the-top acting and all that entails, with a very distinct neo-retro vibe to it, then Hobo with a Shotgun is also a decent recommendation from my end. I've seen it a few times and I like it every time I see it. Not amazing, but quite decent. Of course, it has this ironic idea to it, this ironic twist, where it's made today and they're very aware of what they're making it, setting it apart from back in the 80s and 90s, where these things were less self-aware. So it's a bit less genuine in that way. You have to like this over-the-top self-awareness, but if you can stomach that, then it's a decent film. But enough about Hobo with a Shotgun, let's continue with Father's Day. So yes, it uses the sound design, the effects, the cinematography very well. Even the backgrounds, although the backgrounds are often just stills, the way they edit it together, the way they composition it, adds to the universe and makes it look much bigger, appear much wider. For example, there might be a big building in the background, and it's obviously just an image or something that was drawn or something. Then they pretend to enter it, but it's obvious that they just enter a parking tunnel or go down to a basement or something, but you buy it. The way it's filmed, the way it's edited, you buy that they are actually going these places. So they really know how to structure a movie, how to composition it, how to do all this movie magic. And on top of that, some of the cinematography that, although I'm not a big fan of shaky cam, this is 2011, so of course there's a lot of shaky cam in it. And the lighting is also quite red and blue, so this kind of neon, neo-retro that was emerging at the time. They use it very well, because with the shaky cam, even if the effects, the scenes are not great, they didn't necessarily have the money at the time to really get the most out of where they are, to get the most out of the practical effects they had. With this shaky cam, it becomes more energetic, they get much more out of the scene. So I can actually see how the shaky cam, even though I'm not a big fan of it, they use it very intelligently to make the scenes much more immersive and to make the shortcomings of the movie less easy to spot. That's why when you have this composition, when you have these ideas, when everything is pulled off so well, they really know how to do movie magic. They really know how to make you immersed and forget that you are watching a $10,000 movie. I was shocked. It's insane that they do this with $10,000. When I was watching it, I thought, okay, maybe this is $100,000, but even then I was impressed. But $10,000, it's insane. There's one scene where there's so many naked silicone boobs that I thought that scene alone would be $10,000. I have no idea how they pulled this off. It's insane. It's very well done. Hats off. I mean, and that's still. I'm in awe. I'm in awe They really know their stuff.
Jeez, I don't believe it.
Oh, is that great?
Well, what a rush, huh? What's that stuff like?
Good shit.
So I have touched on most of the things I want to talk about, and I know I've been very vague, and that's intentionally. As I said, I don't want to spoil it. I want to sell it to you, and I want to give you an idea of what to expect, and that's why I also need to talk about one thing that might put you off watching it. The film is very gory. It has a lot of nasty scenes. It has a lot of very uncomfortable things to see. It has, I'm not sure how I can phrase this on YouTube, so it has humans eating or at least doing things with humans. It has mutilation. It has mutilation of downstairs. It has grape without G. It has a lot of these things that make it sound very uncomfortable, too sadistic, like this might not be something you want to watch. Too heavy, too gross. And yes, if you're a bit squeamish and don't like gore and very visible gore and very extreme gore at times, don't watch this movie. But before you make that decision, I want to make a comparison here. I watched the first Terrifier movie and I didn't like it. Terrifier has amazing practical effects. The gore, the kills, the mutilations in that movie, they're really, really good. I really hats off to the guy who makes these movies. I haven't seen the other two because I don't want to, but the first one, I was shocked at how great this was, especially for such a low budget movie. This is someone who knows his stuff. Someone who can make really, really, really good practical effects. Really gory, but in very, very good ways. For someone who loves practical effects, I think they were practical. I don't know if there were special effects on them as well. For someone who likes gory practical effects, I loved that aspect of it. The problem was the movie was too sadistic. It was not fun. It was not fun or entertaining gore. It was just people being mortured and tortured in very nasty ways. It left me feeling sick. I felt disgusted. I kinda low-key hated watching it. I didn't feel good. Afterwards, I was really not feeling well. Like I was viscerally disturbed by it. This movie doesn't do that. The way they compose it, with the sound design, with the editing, with the lighting, with all of these things, with the pacing and with the tone, it never gets sadistic. Or well, it can get nasty, but never sadistic. They never dwell on it long enough for it to be too sadistic, to be too drawn out, to be too uncomfortable. They know where to start and when to stop, what to show and what not to show. And it's not just gore through and through. It has a few very effective, very nasty scenes, and then scenes where of course nasty things have happened, but you don't necessarily see it happening. It never gets too much. It never overstays its welcome. Instead, the gore, the nasty things, they are very complimentary. And although, yes, I did say, there's especially one where I was, the woman I was watching it with was just, are you okay? And if you've seen the movie, you might know what scene that gave me that effect, that made me react this way as a man. It has some of those things, but it never gets too much. I am seasoned. I have seen a lot of grisly things, as I said in the beginning. This is a Troma movie. It is a Troma movie. It feels like a Troma movie. But Troma is just quite good at doing this nasty effects, these gory effects, without them ever becoming too nasty, too gory, and overstaying their welcome. At least that's my opinion. Also, I haven't seen all Troma movies, so I'm only talking about the ones I have seen.
Now this is some heavy shit.
So this is where I will leave it. I know I haven't said much, but here are my concluding remarks that I hope will make you watch the movie, at least if it sounds like something you want to see. If you want to see someone who has very little experience, but a lot of love for cinema, a lot of love for making quirky, funny, gory action movies, someone who puts a lot of passion into their projects, with a very, very small budget, but managing to really pull it off. Not a vanity project, but a project among friends, having a lot of fun, making something that is genuinely good. Having funny lines of dialogue, also bad lines of dialogue, but funny lines of dialogue, having great gore, decent action, actually sometimes very good action, a lot of very, very good creative decisions. That's not something I touch enough on because I don't want to spoil too much, but some of the decisions of where the movie goes, So the plot, some of the, not necessarily the plot, but some of the creative decision on how they handle some of the things in it, actually it's very, very, not innovative, but it's very genius at times. You never really know where the movie goes next. On paper it sounds straightforward, but it really isn't. It has a lot of great ideas. It really has a lot of good ideas. Something, again, I didn't stress enough, it has a lot of good ideas. So it's not just someone who makes a very exploitation, gory movie and that's it. No, there's also brain in it. They are creative, they are good at their little writing sometimes. It's just a very, very good low-budget movie. And yes, you do have to stomach gore, you do have to stomach some of these things, you do have to survive some shigecam, you do have to survive some rather stock-sounding synth pop, new retro, that sort of thing in it. But I know, I like that. I love this. This is a hidden gem. A hidden gem for everyone who loves these little horror, gory, small movies, independent movies out there that do not get all the love they deserve. This is definitely one of them. This movie deserves your love. This movie deserves your attention. Adam Brooks hasn't made much since this. He has made one movie called The Editor. I didn't like it when I watched it, but I think I want to rewatch it after this as, well, I love this movie so much that maybe his other movie will be great as well. Again, I don't remember really liking it. It's more of a giallo exploitation, but it's quite different from this. And I don't really remember it being that good. That's it. I want this guy to make more movies. Maybe he's so much older now that he has no interest in making these movies. But I don't know, this is just a great movie. And I love watching independent cinema. I love to watch low-budget productions that actually work. And I just want to get the word out there that there is this great little movie, this great little gory, action, synthy, wild thing out there. This little wild thing called Father's Day that people should watch. Because there's so much trash out there, and this is not trash. But we don't hear about this because there's so much trash we had to dig through to get to Father's Day. But now, you know, and you can watch it. And you can share the word. You can spread the word so that everybody watches Father's Day. Maybe even at Father's Day. That would be quite great. So, I don't know. I'm agitated. I'm agitated because I want people to see this movie. So that's it for me. Have a great day. Have a great Father's Day. If it is Father's Day, have a good life. And maybe I'll see you again sometime. Also, if you know other movies like Father's Day, I would really love to hear about them. So please write in the comments. Bye.